Hi, welcome. Are you tired of losing games? Do you see everyone winning and you just can't? You already think about quitting this sport because you're not good enough. Probably they are more intelligent than you. Probably you hasn't been made to play this sport. You're wrong. You're wrong. Because today I will teach you how to win. And I will teach you to win with violence. We will learn the Morra Gambit. But before learning, don't forget to subscribe. Push the like button and comment below. Tell me, what do you feel? Are you happy? Are you sad? Tell me everything. I will help you too. Because when you subscribe, it's for life. We will be friends. So push the like button, subscribe, comments, and if you have a good idea to put here on this channel, I will be extremely grateful because I need ideas always because every day I put a video on the internet. So that's what I'm doing for you. So let's go. Continuing. So, what is the Smith Morra? The Smith Morra is an opening that some time from now has been invented by Pierre Morra, a French guy, and American guy too. So his name was Ken Smith. But Morra has published a lot of books about this gambit. This is considered an amateur opening, but don't go. I've won a classical game against a strong international master with violence in less than 20 moves. If I can, why don't you can? So this starts with e4, c5. So this is a gambit against the Sicilian. And after d4, pawn takes c3, let's go. Let's go to the party. So why do we want to play a gambit? We want to play it because it's good. You will attack. You will have the initiative and you will create problems to your opponents. And this is always a good idea because if your opponent fails a move, you will win with violence. And today we will see 5 examples in the end when you win with brilliant tactics. And I know you will sleep very well after winning the games with these tactics. So here, with any doubts, the black will take the pawn. And after that, we will take with the knight. This is the basis. So the most common answers are knight c6, d6, c6. Those 3 moves. We will see the 3 variations. So let's start with knight c because, well, most of times they will play knight c6 and after d6 and e6. So after knights, very important. I've already saw several masters games where they play bishop c4. Don't do that. This is a mistake because you don't want to play the bishop to c4 or else he will play e6 and it's not easy to find a way to use the bishop on c4 because the pawn will block the path to the bishop. So first, let's do the principles on the opening. So we want to develop first the knights and then the bishops. So we will push the knight to f3. And this is very important. We want to see what move our opponent does. So if he plays this, we will push the bishop because the diagonal is open. If he plays that, we can think about playing bishop to f4. It's not mandatory, but I like to follow this rule because of the dynamic of the pieces. We want to have a lot of potential to play our pieces. So in this case, let's see if black plays d6. This already happened with me. I was playing the Morra Gambit and I won with violence. So we already know that if this pawn advances, we will play bishop to c4. It's quite easy. And here you will pray like me. It doesn't matter to which god. You will pray because you want your opponent to play knight f6. It's playable, it's normal, but you want to be happy because exist several traps after knight f6. And if he plays that, you can think, but it's not necessary because here e5 is always the idea. And here, very important, exists several ways of defending this advance. One of them is knight g4. When I played with, for example, the international master, I won several feed masters, but on the internet with this variation, and no one plays knight g4. And even when they play knight g4, we will see today this, it's not complicated for white. So here they will take with the pawn or with the knight. If they take the pawn with the knight, you already won the game because knight takes, pawn takes, bishop sacrifices, and this is a party. This is terrible for black because after king takes bishop, queen takes queen, and he will raise his hand, he will cry, and you won't laugh because he is crying, but you will be happy on the inside, yeah? But okay, this is good for white. And okay, you're thinking right now, okay, knight takes, of course, this is a blunder, this is terrible, but this is good. Yeah, Nakamura won, Caruana playing a Morra Gambit. So if you want to see more content about that, I can put the game here on the channel. Please tell me something, okay? So another variant. What if pawn takes? First move. Queen takes queen. Easy stuff. Of course, probably for a person that doesn't know this line, they will think, king takes doesn't look good because knight g5 is taking pressure on the f7 square. So, yeah, doesn't have good looks. So they won't play that. This is playable for black, but it's rare to see this kind of moves. Normally on the opening, no one wants to play the king. And if this happens, the only correct answer for black is to play knight a5, lateralizing the knight. Isn't strange. And after that, of course, here you can play just bishop takes f7. And this is strange for black because the pawn structure is broken. But of course, you're losing by one pawn, so the game is equal. So what if he takes with the knight? This is so beautiful because first you will play knight b5, threatening to win the rook. Here, probably most of your opponents will play king to d7. And this is unstoppable. You're threatening checkmate. You will give checkmate. Have you seen? Knight takes check. This isn't possible. And this is checkmate with a pair of knights. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. And okay, what if he plays another move? Yeah. What can he play? For example, I don't know, rook b8 probably is a move, I don't know. But here you're already better because knight c7 is a check, and after king goes to d7 here, we can just push backwards our knight and try to play this for the compensation, the positional compensation. So in my opinion, white is better because Okay, you're losing by 2 points, but look at this king. Is ugly, this guy. So is completely exposed. So this will be complicated. For example, the engine's suggestion is to play e6, and after knight takes, this king will go probably again to e8, a strange move. And here we can continue with, oh, if you want, you can do that. But my suggestion is just to castle and let's continue this game. And we will be happy. We are happier with this position. So incredible stuff. Okay, we have seen the ideas with d6 and knight f6. But exists another moves. For example, instead of playing the knight, the black can play different stuff. For example, here, of course, bishop c4. And okay, let's see a6, because e6 by transposition will go to the third topic. So here, my suggestion is very simple. You already developed a pair of knights, a bishop. Now, according to the opening principles, we need to protect our king. And then we attack with violence. So, okay, let's castle. Why not? And again, they will play the knight to f6, and we will play e5. e5 is always good. And okay, let's see. If pawn takes, now you don't have this kind of ideas, but okay, queen takes, knight takes, and knight takes. And the idea is that after e6, you're losing by 1 point, but the bishop isn't well placed. My suggestion is just to push the bishop to d3 because he wants to play b5, a prophylactic move. And if he plays that, for example, just to show the idea, here we can continue, for example, with bishop e3. This is the idea. Rook e1 is também idea. It's also sorry, an idea. And this is completely playable. Of course, black is winning by 1 point, and with the exchange of the queens, black stabilized the position. But you don't need to be afraid, because after, for example, bishop e3, bishop d6, I think this is normal stuff, bishop d4, you have the center. You're controlling the center with your minor pieces. So, in my opinion, this isn't complicated. For example, in my opinion, castle isn't the best move, but probably this will happen. And just to show the plans, here the plan is to play a4, and after b4, you want to play knight e2, and imagine a5, and okay, you can play bishop b5, and you have more mobility. So for me, you don't need to be worried. You will push the rooks to the open files, and you will create some problems to your opponent. So about the lines with d6, I think it's very good. Now it's time to see the e6 lines. And the e6 lines will fall on the can variations. So this kind of stuff. And okay, again, we see most times the players playing bishop to c4. And for me, again, bishop c4 isn't the best idea, because this diagonal is already closed. So you don't want to do that to your life. So what will you do? Well, my suggestion is to play the bishop to f4, because this kind of diagonal is opened and you can create pressure and problems. So after, for example, imagine knight f6, just to show. Here you have always e5, because if he lets you to advance the pawn, you will advance the pawn. And of course, knight g8 is already bad. It doesn't look good. The idea can be just to play rook c1 or queen d2 and start creating problems here on the black game. Another idea can be just to, for example, play d6. This is normal. This I named the Kan formation. And here we need to think a little bit to see how to create pressure and problems to our opponent. So I will suggest you to create problems on the d6 square. How can you do that? Well, my suggestion is just to push the queen to b3, and then you will push the rook or even castle queenside. It will depend on your mood, okay? And well, I'm a little crazy when I play chess. So yeah, castle queenside isn't so strange. It's interesting. Tell me on the comments, what do you think about that? I think it's good. It's nice. But well, continuing here, probably this will happen, or even knight. I think knight is probably normal here. And our idea is just to, well, I don't know. Probably for you, you will prefer rook to d1, but I don't know. I'm going to show the castle. I like this kind of stuff. It's, if you're playing the Morra Gambit, you want to win with style, with violence, yes? So castle queenside, it's always a good idea. The idea is to create pressure on the d6 square. So this is an idea too. For example, if he plays that, this is already bad because knight takes, bishop takes, and the pawn cannot take, or else he will win the queen. He will lose, sorry, the queen. So this isn't possible. What if he plays a6 to prevent the ideas with knight b5? Well, here we advance again because we aren't afraid of him. Oh, but he has knight h5. Yes, it's true. And we push the bishop to e3. Why e3 and not g3? Simple. He lateralized the knight. So if we play bishop to g3, the knight will take the bishop, and this is not good for us, because we are letting our opponent do what he wants to do. So we don't let our opponents to play. We do our own games. So bishop e3, and after, for example, pawn advance. I think it's a normal move. Here, white is already won because we have g4. And black resign again. He will cry and we will be happy again. This isn't possible. That's the reason. So, oh, okay, the knight has problems. Yeah. So what will he do? g6? Strange. g6 is strange because we have again g4, and after the knight goes to g7, well, will this bishop go to g6? No, doesn't have this look. So here we can continue with knight e4, and after pawn advances, we can create problems on f6. This is like an octopus, a big octopus, because this knight won't go away from here. He will push the ink to the king. This is finished. This game is won. So after king goes in this direction, well, can we give checkmate? Yeah, I think we can give checkmate with queen a3. Oh, but Luis, the knight can go to b4. Yeah, true. And we take. It's good, no? I like it. And after queen d6, queen takes, checkmate. Morra Gambit. This is incredible. This is incredible. So, okay, knight cannot attack, is a fact. And what if knight goes to g4 to create pressure on the pawn? Yeah, this is playable. It's true. But, okay, if he wants to attack, you will let him attack you with any problem. Of course, he is threatening to take on f2 too. So, okay, my suggestion is to play just bishop to g5 to attack the queen. And the idea is, if he plays that, bishop takes, queen takes, of course, and pawn takes. This you have counterplay, so this is good for you. But the alternative can be queen to c7. If he plays that, okay, again, yeah, black is slightly better, but yeah, it's not very complicated to play this for white, because pawn takes, bishop takes, in my opinion, it's normal. And now we play knight e4 to create pressure on the bishop and the rook, and at the same time we are defending the threat on f2. So here he will play bishop, probably, I think. And after that, I like this variation. Bishop takes, queen takes, this kind of stuff. And here probably h3 is the best idea, because after knight f6, knight d6, and he won't castle. Of course, probably when we reach this position, bishop takes, probably he has knight a5. Probably this is the idea to give check. But yeah, you can play queen c2 with any problems. And after queen takes, b takes, I think. And this isn't possible again. And after king takes, okay, again, we can play h3. This position isn't easy for white, but in my opinion, it's playable if you're even feed master or international master. Grandmaster probably no, but well, I don't believe we have one grandmaster here seeing to these videos, but if we have, please tell me. I want to know you. So continuing. So this, in my opinion, is completely playable. So let's go back, and we need to see another variation, the knight c6, because of the time of the video. We will see knight c6 now with the ideas of g6. And then I have some more suggestions for you, because I play regularly this opening, sorry for the accent, and I like a lot this. In my opinion, is one of the most interesting openings to play with white. So, okay, after g6, here, if you prefer, you can play bishop to c4, but I will suggest you, oh, sorry, I need to put this, okay. I will suggest you not to play bishop c4, but to play e5. And why? Why I'm suggesting that? Because if you can gain some space, if your opponent gives you some space, you will embrace it. And here, after bishop g7, I will suggest two variations. One is for 1500 below, and the other is to the rest of the players. So 1500 below, bishop c4, because, okay, he can take the pawn. And yeah, if knight takes, bishop takes, the idea is bishop takes on f7, and after king takes, queen d5 check, and we will take back the piece with an interesting idea. For example, king goes back, and this isn't the best move. I will show you then the other variation. Queen takes, you're threatening to take the rook, and after knight f6, white is slightly better because you have bishop g5, and in terms of development, the white's development will be easier. You're losing again by 1 point, but look at your possession. It's incredible. The problem with this line is that the king can go to g7. That's the reason I'm recommending to players below 1500. So yeah, but nobody knows that, okay? You don't need to be worried about. Here we will take, and after knight f6, the difference is that the king is well placed, and after rook f8, he has done the manual castling. So here, my suggestion is queen g3, and probably you won't lose this game, but you're not winning. The thing is that. So for me, probably most of the players will play that. And you castle, and again, it's an interesting game. You have several plans, and about the development, you're more developed than your opponents. So for the rest of the players, I won't recommend you to play bishop c4, but to play bishop f4. It's a positional idea. So I want to have this pawn on e5, and this pawn, because of the space that he is giving me, will create problems on the development for my opponents. See one example. This will happen to some of you. And the problem is that the bishop is on g7. So right now, this is already possible. It's terrible. So, for example, after queen check, okay, we can push the bishop to d2, and this is unstoppable. And even if he plays back the bishop, he is underdeveloped, your opponent. So here you can push the bishop or even rook. Probably rook is better in this position. And okay, bishop b4, okay, no problem. Bishop d2 takes. And again, this is a chronicle problem. So he will lose this game because after the knight enters, this will be very complicated. So, okay, about this kind of stuff we've already seen. What if he plays a different thing, like d6, sorry. Here, my suggestion is just to take. And after pawn takes, this pawn is weak. So we can play some interesting stuff, like knight b5, threatening to take the pawn. This is interesting. Why not to take with the queen? Well, you can take with the queen, but you're not winning the game. The game is equal. So if you want to win the game, why not to play aggressive and on an optimistic way? So knight b5 is threatening to take with the knight, and this is complicated. And after queen to a5, yeah, we can play whatever we want, even the queen, but I prefer bishop, because right now he will think a lot, because queen d8 again probably is the only answer. And now, okay, if you want, you can draw, but yeah, we want to win. So probably bishop e3, yeah, bishop e3 probably. And after queen again, okay, knight e2. Let's play this stuff. He needs to think in several ways of defending this pawn, because the queen cannot take, or else the bishop will take the knight. So this is complicated for black. So I think we have seen several lines that will permit you to change the way you play. You will create problems to all of your opponents. But we haven't finished it yet. Now I have 5 exercises, 5 quick traps that will permit you to win all of your opponents and friends. You will be the master of your road. So let's go. So the first position is we've seen today. So let's go for it. So here e4, c5, takes, and after d6, bishop, knight, knight, knight. Do you remember the move? The move is e5. And after takes, knight takes, knights, and we are creating pressure. Checkmate. The second position is on the variance with e5. Not very good. We haven't seen that because this is terrible. And of course, here we play c3. And even if pawn takes, probably a lower rated player will do that. We will take with the knight, we will develop the bishop because the square on f7 is terrible. And after knight g5, this looks like a kind of Fagatello attack. So here, d5, bishop takes, knight takes, pawn takes, and after knight d4, we castle. And this is an interesting position for white and complicated for black. On our next position, this finishes with violence because black has played a6 and b5. And here, of course, we play bishop sacks. Bishop takes on f7. And after king takes, queen check, and we will win the rook. So yeah, here, this is based on a game, an internet game. He has played the bishop, and of course, white has continued with knight e5, taking back the piece and attacking the queen. So this is terrible for black. On our next position, black has played knight c6 with g6. Here, of course, again, bishop c. This is for players with less than 1500. Again, knight takes, bishop takes, king takes, and after queen check, we have seen that today. We will see here a brilliant way of winning this game because the black is suicidal. So he has played king to f6, 6. It's not normal, not good, neither good. And after knight checks, king goes to f5, and g4 is completely brilliant for white, because takes rook, bishop, queen check. I give up the rook, and this game, it's over. Because right now, right now, king goes to d2. It's checkmate, because the rook is here, looking to the king. So 2 more positions to show you. 2 more traps. Here, e4, c, again, everything normal, g6, and here, the variant with e5. Here, black has played e6. We talked about that. The whole in d6. So we will put the knights there. But in this position, the white player has played a creative move, because queen on d6, and after that, we win the queen, because the king doesn't have any square to play. So after queen takes, this game is over. Last trap in the opening. We have, again, our Morra. And after d6, bishop e5, knight takes. We have talked about that today too. Knight takes, pawn takes, queen sacrifices on f7. And after king takes, queen, and it's over. So this is very aggressive. And I hope you enjoyed this video, because I enjoyed a lot to study a little more this Smith Morra opening. If you want me to analyze this further and see some of these variations in detail, please tell me, because I want to know what kind of content you enjoy the most. So thanks a lot for all of the last subscribers and comments. And yes, I enjoyed a lot the suggestion of doing a video about how to study chess. So don't forget to push the like button, subscribe, and I will be waiting for you here tomorrow. Have a good night, and till tomorrow. Bye-bye.